Scheduling is a big deal. You hear guys and girls always arguing. She wants me to be home by 6, and I'm trying to build this career. Or I'm trying to build this business. And you know what? I can't get home by 6. I got to be home by 8. And inevitably, you start asking questions. You you find out what's really going on. Is her expectations are different than his? So you if you know you're going to have to hard charge at your career or your business or whatever you're doing, or you're going to have to travel a lot, you need to be very picky about who you hook up with down the road, or as far as who you pick as a wife for a long-term relationship. Because look at what her dad did for a living to see what type of schedule she'll expect. This isn't written down. No one tells you this, but this is how it works. If he was home by 5:30 for dinner every night and your career requires 4 days of travel during the week, you're in for a bad time. That's just the way it is. I've worked with women that their husband leaves on Sunday night, comes back on Friday morning. And her dad did the same thing. She's used to it. She knows this is a deal. And then I've also been around women that their dad like worked down the street or worked from home, like selling insurance, and he was always home. And now her husband is never home. So there's a stark contrast. And even like just when they're telling you about this, the emphasis is like the second girl will say, and he's never home, as opposed to the first girl that is like, he's never home. My dad was never home. This is normal. So you have to realize that if you're going to have an extreme type of lifestyle, and most guys that are hard chargers will, they won't be home a lot, especially younger, when things are kind of building up. You have to manage her expectations. And the best way is to ask her what her dad did. When was he home? And a lot of times things may change over time. Like, my dad got sick when he was like 40 and then he had to cut back. So there's a lot of variables you do need to know. But mentally, I think, and people like will ignore this, what you've seen as you're growing up is really a blueprint, for lack of a better phrase. It's a blueprint for what you expect, whether you realize it or not. I mean, it's kind of like the first time I ever ate over at a friend's house when I was like 8 or 10, and the food tastes different. You don't realize that there's other lifestyles, there's other tastes, there's other ways of living. And a lot of girls go to college, they're very flexible, they have all, but hardwired or hard lined in their head is how they were raised. It's like Bunny, her dad owned his own business and that she worked in. So if you own your own business, that's pretty much as good as it's going to get, is her having a dad who owned his own business that she also had to work in or worked in. They understand the struggle. They understand the ups and downs. They understand he's there and then he's gone. And then it's unpredictable. And you have to be where the client is and that you're on call basically. So there's all kinds, as opposed to if her dad had worked 9 to 5 and was home by 5:15 every day, completely different. And everybody kind of goes through different cycles, but it's what she knows. She's not shocked by it, especially with, we're both in fitness. So it's very early and very late. And girls, it throws them off. I mean, they don't mind you leaving at 5 a.m., but they want you home by 5 p.m. across the board. Every fitness business owner I've talked to has dealt with this at some point in his lifetime, where the wife wants him home by 5. Well, you own your own gym. Why can't you be home by 5? Because in the fitness business, the prime selling time is 5 to 8 p.m. You have to be there. Otherwise, you won't have a business when you come back in the morning. So prime time, that's what we call it, prime time, 5 to 8. So that's the real deal. And guys deal with it all the time. So you have to know what they expect. And if you're own your own business, best to find a girl that her dad owned his own business, owned his own restaurant, owned his own service business, owned his own production company, because she's going to understand the challenges and the ups and downs and the dry periods and then your flush. So that's the real deal. Look at what her dad did for a living to see what type of schedule she'll expect. If he was home by 5:30 for dinner every night, and your career requires 4 days of travel during the week, you are in for a bad time, and that's the real deal. So if you guys like this, like it, share it. We're a little bit out of time. We're running, it's 7:40. But if you want to financially support this channel, you can go to fortworthplayboy.gumroad.com or myplayboysbunny.gumroad.com. We have probably combined at least 50 products, something that's challenging you, whether it's sexual or how to do this, or I don't know how to date and move them from complete stranger to in my bed in 1 or 2 dates, or I've been married for 30 years and we have a dead bedroom. How do I fix that? All these questions can be answered. And if you're not sure what the right product for you is, reach out to us through email or through a DM, and we will respond and guide you in. Sometimes it requires a consultation, and you can find that at fortworthplayboy.com or myplayboysbunny.com. We have consultations available. We can get on the phone, get one-on-one with you, and get your background and get your questions answered, get your problems solved quickly and efficiently. And if you have any questions, be sure to direct them. And we're always looking for question of the day. I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate you guys supporting this channel, and I hope you have a great day.